Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get this semi-bloody vampire look. So if you'd like to see how I did it, just keep on watching. So first I am taking this orange shade from Coastal Scents. I do believe this is, goodness, I'm not 100% sure on that color actually. I think it's cantaloupe slice. I'll have it for sure listed in the description box down below if you want to check that out. And I'm just running that into my crease using the Luxie tapered blending brush. Next, I went into Coastal Scents Volcanic Blast using the same brush, and I'm running that into my crease as well, but not quite as high, and just making sure those two colors are nice and blended. Then I am taking the shade Oktoberfest from Coastal Scents as well. I'm using a defining crease brush, and I'm placing this more strategically into my crease so that it doesn't get, so I keep some of the orange in this look. And then I'm going to go back in with that Luxie blending brush, and I just blend all those colors together. Then I went back into Oktoberfest one more time just to give it a little more depth. Next, I took this darkest brown shade from the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. This is called Swoop. And I'm using the Bodyography Pro shader brush. And I'm just patting this all over my lid. Then I went back into my Luxie blending brush and I just made sure all those colors blended together seamlessly. And then I went back into Oktoberfest one more time, and then I also went back into the shade Swoop from the Pretty Vulgar palette one more time just to give those each a little more intensity. Then for my lower lash line, I went in with the shade Volcanic Blast from Coastal Scents, and I just made sure to blend that out nice, well, not too low, but like a little lower than I normally would on an average look. And then I went in with Coastal Scents. I do believe this is pomegranate red. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll have that listed down in the description below. And I ran that closer to my lower lash line. Next, I am taking the black from the Pretty Vulgar palette, and I'm using an e.l.f. small concealer brush, and I'm running that right along my top lashes just to give it kind of like a smoky liner effect. Next, I went in with this, sorry, this is a blurry shot here, but this is the black eyeliner pencil from Vintage Cosmetics, and I ran that on my waterline. Then to coat my top and lower lashes, I went in with the Essence Volume Stylist mascara. Now, then I went in with a fluffy angled brush and the Snazaroo black water activated paint, and I really watered down a lot of the black, and I just ran that along my lower lashes, And then what I did was I used a little spray bottle with water and I sprayed it a bunch right on the brush I was using. And then if you kind of press it against your face and kind of like make it so that the brush squeezes down together, it'll create like a black drip. Just be careful when you do this because it will make a mess. I had that land on the chair I was sitting on, but it gives it like a nice like you were crying really hard look to it because I wanted my vampire to be like, she was kind of like pissed off. Maybe she was crying a bunch after she, I don't know. We don't know where that story's going. Okay, moving on. So I just did that with both of my eyes. So while I was letting that dry, I went in with the BH Cosmetics Contour Palette, and I took this shade and I used a crown brush to carve out my cheekbones and my jawline. And I applied this pretty generously because I blended this out further than the next shade I'm going to go into. I wanted to make sure that my cheekbones and my jawline were really looked really strong and gaunt and like prominent in this look. So I went in with two different contour shades, just blended this one out more, and then I went into the darkest contour shade in that same palette using the Luxie small contouring brush, and I used that to contour just closest to the top of my cheekbones and then right along my jawline as well.
Not really sure, but my brain tells me I've been here before. Don't wanna draw any attention to all the crazy things that I shouldn't mention.
And then I just went back and forth with that crown brush and that Luxie brush because I feel like the crown brush was buffing it out a lot better, but then the Luxie brush was nice and precise in laying it down.
But it feels like my feet are glued to the floor. Don't wanna open up my mouth, cause I'm afraid of what's gonna come out. Life is but a dream. This can't be happening. Wake up, scream. I'm in a twisted reality.
Then I went in with the Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Earth. This is from their Zodiac collection. And I just used my finger because I didn't want it to be too intense, and I just applied some of this on my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and the bridge of my nose.
Twisted.
Then going back in with that red shade from the my Coastal Scents palette that I made, I just ran this right over the black that was under my eyes because I wanted to bring in a little more of that red back because I feel like obviously we lost a lot of it when we put that black paint there. Then I went in with the Wet n Wild Mega Last lipstick in the shade Cherry Bomb, and I used this all over my lips. Okay, now I'm getting to the most messiest. That does not, nope, that's not right, but we're gonna roll with it. Part of this tutorial, and I went in with the Mayron Stage Blood in the shade Dark Venus. I'm sorry that this part is pretty blurry. I don't know why that is, but I just poured some into the cap, and I have some paper towels underneath me so that it catches anything so I don't make a huge mess. Now this blood is a syrup-based blood, and it is mouth safe. I wouldn't recommend ingesting a lot of it if you can. I just put it in my mouth and I kind of like swished it around, and then I started to let it come out of my mouth like this. Really not the most flattering thing to watch. But I wanted to have like a nice drip effect coming out of my mouth. And then whatever was left over in the cap, I just started to place all along my lower lip because I didn't want it to just be, stripes coming down. I wanted it to look kind of smeared and kind of messy. So I started to place that around parts of my lip as well. And since this is a syrup-based blend, it is really sticky. Just forewarning you if you decide to get this at all. And it does not dry down completely, so if you go to touch your face on accident and bring your hand away, it'll be all over your hand as well. So that is something just to keep in mind. And I'm just using my finger here to kind of like smear it out a little more. And another thing to note is this did not stain my face or my hands or anything, so that's a plus. And it doesn't have like an awful taste as well. It does taste sweet. It's not like a rancid taste, so that was also a plus. And then just dipping my finger into a little more blood, I just decided to run this further out on the sides of my jawline and also along my neck, just to, mess it up a little more. Purposefully mess it up, not like mess up the makeup, but like make it look messy on purpose.
I'm seeing visions. I'm not sure who's the one making the decisions. Wake up, scream. I'm in a twisted reality.
And that pretty much brings this makeup tutorial to a close. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in my next one.